Yo, what's up? My name is Lee. I am a part-time gold trader. I day trade. But today I'm just going to be sharing with you guys the 10 things I wish I knew before trading. Trading is not about how much money you're trying to make. It's about how much money you're willing to risk. If you think about your risk factor more than your potential gains, you're going to be way better. It's more about protecting your account. You need to know what's the best way to risk as little bit as possible and make as much as possible based off of what you're risking. You got to stick to understanding what I am able to risk on each trade. That's what's gonna give you that leverage or help out your goal to get to that next step when it comes to trading. Number 2, a small account will not make you rich, but it will make you disciplined. When you have a small account, it is very easy to see your good and your bad habits. They show much faster. Just because like with a small account, you're not really waiting days to weeks to take a really good trade. You see a lot more of a instant gratification. You see that happen so much faster. And the reason for that is because you don't really feel a $2 win that much. It's not a good mindset to have. It's a bad mindset to have. When you're only up $2, when you're up $1, when you're up, a few cents, it's not gonna be that meaningful to you. So you're gonna create a bad habit, which is taking more trades a lot more frequently. Trading too many times or taking too many trades in a day is already a bad habit. Because you're too busy trying to see a bigger amount when it comes to your trading, you end up breaking one of those rules, which is trading too often. Then another thing could be greed. Maybe you're not satisfied with the $2 because you want to see 10, and then your account's only $100. It's like, think about it as far as like percentage. That's 10% of your whole account. If you're willing to aim to make 10%, then that means you're at least bare minimum, you're risking 5 to 10%, which is already a big amount on your account. Like if you really think about it, how many of those 10% trades can you make before you blow your account? So number 3, I understand like patience is a skill. It's like just like a dog, just like you train, or at least you teach a kid or whatever, you teach them patience. You learn how to wait. It's not something that just comes automatically instilled. It's like, no, it's small little disciplines allow you to understand the bigger picture. The bigger picture is you understanding why you have to wait, is you learning why it is that waiting is going to be better than taking an impulsive entry. So it's not something that just comes naturally. If it comes naturally, then even better. Your biggest job as a beginner is to survive as long as possible. You try it for the first week, you do well, then you're like, you know what? Let me take a break. Or the opposite. Let me go all in, and you blow your account within the next 2 weeks or so. Once I learned that, I'm like, wait, if every single time I'm not trading, every single time I'm not on the markets, I'm not learning, then I need to learn how to survive much longer, so then I'm able to learn as much as possible, as fast as possible. I cannot learn if I'm not able to trade. How am I going to learn from my mistakes, or how am I going to know when I did something right or wrong? It's like, okay, I understood that earlier on, and I'm like, okay, so now the new name of the game is to see how long I can keep this account for. Number 5 is that your risk management matters more than your entries, because even though you don't catch it at the very top for the perfect sell, or the very bottom for the perfect buy entry, you can still manage that trade into a winning trade if you know how to manage your risk. Let's say you didn't get this buy at the very bottom, but you caught it somewhere a little bit past that. If your risk management is distributed correctly, you would be able to still, win off of that trade, and you shouldn't really have a problem. But if your risk factors tends to be so much more than you can chew, then obviously it's going to bite you back in the butt. Number 6, the real account killer: over trading. If you overtrade, you're going to blow an account. It's very easy to just get caught up in the middle of a revenge trade, or like, man, like I knew this was going to be the winning trade, or I should have closed it when it was almost at full TP. Why didn't I close it? You know what? This next trade is going to be the one that's going to get me to pass my challenge, or to that whatever number mark is for you. This is one of the easiest things that you could avoid. Stick to 1 to 2 trades max per day. Number 7, your routines matter more than your actual strategy. I know that could sound a bit contradicting as well. You can have the very best strategy possible, and if you don't know how to implement that with a good routine, if your bigger trades or your bigger winning trades happen to be this particular way, study that. Understand that as like, hey, maybe this has to do with that, right? Maybe me waking up 30 minutes before the actual time I'm supposed to trade allows me to come in with a different kind of mindset. You create routines for your trading style, for your trading habits. So if you understand that your routine is more important than your strategy, you go so much further that way. Number 8, you will not become consistently profitable until you understand that it's boring. It sounds funny, it sounds weird, but good trading is the most boring kind. When you trade as a routine, when you trade very monotone per se, and it's not so like emotional and all over the place, it's like it becomes boring. And that's completely fine. Find something to do while your trade is open. Maybe you're not the kind of trader that needs to trade every single day. Some people trade every other day. Some people trade maybe once a week or once every other 2 weeks. You have to figure out whatever that is for you. For me, I found out like the most boring trades happen to be the most safest, at least for my style. So if I understand that actual trading is boring, like what am I trying to push? What am I trying to change here? Like there's nothing to do other than just once my trade idea is played out and like this is what I'm thinking is gonna happen, and I see everything aligns based off my checklist, and I'm gonna click buy or sell. That's as simple as it's gonna get. I can't do anything in between. I cannot, by clicking more, is gonna make the price go up higher or lower. I can't do that. So it's just boring. You just have to wait. Number 9, emotional control. If you have great emotional control when it comes to your trading, you're already winning. This is not something that's you're only gonna see in trading. If you have emotional control in your relationships, you have an emotional control in your work, in your discipline, in, I don't know, your routine of going to the gym. Is like when you understand that having that emotional control is like the biggest part of your edge, you could pretty much take on anything. If you understand that a loss is just one small loss and you're able to not let that get to you as much as normally losing does, then you won't have to struggle on like revenge trading as much. You know, like me personally, I am very competitive, and I did struggle with revenge trading in the beginning because again, I'm like, wait, if I would have gone the opposite direction, then that means this losing trade would have won. It is a bad mindset to have because then you think, oh, then I just have to be 50% right. That's not how you get a good edge. A good edge is to understand is like, look, this was an L, but what am I going to learn from it? What am I going to take away from this? It's like that's part of having emotional control, and that's something that prevents you from opening up a random trade and then slowly going into the other side, which is like the gambly side of trading. If you don't have a plan on something, it's like I always say, it's a gamble. And last but not least, trading gives you so much freedom, you have no idea. But it is something that it only benefits the consistent traders. The consistent traders are the only ones that are able to see this through this way because you get to see a routine much faster. If you understand that, hey, I'm going to be trading from 7:30 a.m. all the way to, I don't know, 10 a.m. because this is where, for my strategy, this is where my moves tend to play out the very best, then you're going to stick to that routine, and then you're going to be able to build, you know, your freedom or your lifestyle around that routine. So it's something that I didn't really understand up until I was in it. And then once I was in it, once I got here, I was like, oh crap, like I can do a lot of things, which is why some of you see me go golfing once or twice a week, and you know, in the middle of the day, or I'm able to take a trip, you know, when I go with my wife somewhere. Like it's that freedom that trading does provide, that is not something that is normal per se, at least the amount of time that you're able to have. These were the 10 things that I wish I knew before I started to trade. Some of them were good, some of them were bad. Like it depends on you. But for me, like I really wish I had like a mentor that was like guiding me step by step. And these are just some of the things that now I can do and tell you from the get-go, like, hey, like I feel like this is worth it, this wasn't worth it. But I hope that was really helpful to you guys. If you guys did like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I'll be posting on here at least once or twice a week. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me either on Instagram, TikTok, I'm very active, or just write in the comment section. But appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one.